Now then, how clean is our water? Well, one Midlands manufacturing company with over half a century of history has been working with the Environment Agency to help clean things up, developing equipment which is now used by many blue chip companies across the world. We dipped our toes in the water to find out more.
One of the sort of areas I discuss is what happens if you just pour a little bit of cup of tea down a drain. Most people,
which is what pretty much a lot of people would do as well.
Exactly, or I don't know, drop their cigarette butts into a sewer, because it doesn't matter, it just gets washed into this sewer that sort of goes somewhere. Most of the storm drains which we have around our streets, that material, that cigarette butt which contains lots of nasty chemicals, and when you look at thousands of them and you start to add them all up, those chemicals go into our drinking water. Every single item that goes into surface water at some point will enter our food cycle. So when people are saying, well, it doesn't really matter about me throwing my rubbish, throwing my waste, what they're forgetting is the same as industry, is if industry is caught having a massive event like Buncefield, they've just committed a criminal offence, because it's against the law to pollute. It doesn't matter how you do it, it's against the law. Okay. And we sort of do a sort of a talk to our a lot of our sort of companies that we deal with. If you can imagine the highway code, there's nothing that stops you driving 70 miles an hour down a 50 miles per hour road. It's just your common sense and the fact that you know that potentially you could get caught, you could lose your licence, and you could lose your freedom. Yeah. And it goes exactly the same for the environment. There isn't really anything that's going to stop something polluting. It's reliant on people's attitude, industry's attitude, so that it doesn't happen. What we've tried to do with obviously our products, our innovations, is to design a product that at any point it can be placed anywhere. We can actually shut a drainage network down, so if a pollution incident takes place, we close that route that is leading to the waterway, the protected zone. We always call it the source, pathway, and then the receptor. So we like to control the source and the pathway. So it is not possible to stop a pollution incident or a fire happening. But it is possible to block the actual source. My story really starts many years ago in the early 90s, when I'd had a lawn and I decided that I needed to water it with a hose pipe. One of my local neighbours, spotted that I was using a hose pipe during a hose pipe ban, and I received a letter from Severn Trent Water telling me not to use a hose pipe. That meant that I either got a lawn that was going to die, or I needed to obviously break the law, which I wasn't going to do. So what I developed was a little system that sat inside all of my drainage pipes from my bath, from my washing machine, that allowed me to divert water into a water butt, which then filtered into my garden and watered my garden and saved my garden. I had this great idea about rainwater harvesting, basically, and recycling grey water. I took it to actually a Birmingham-based inventing group and asked sort of their opinion. And everybody sort of dismissed the harvesting bit, or the recycling part, but the valve they thought was unique. And the original valve was basically an airbag that sat inside the pipe, and at any time you wanted it inflated, it diverted the flow or stopped the flow. So I went away as I was as a maintenance engineer working for a Ford Motor Company, and sort of thought, well, can I use that in my own business, and can I develop a commercial product that I can sell? I think, like all inventors, you've got a dream to make millions of pounds. It doesn't quite work that way. So I developed a bladder system from working with Ford's at Leamington Spa, which meant that when we had a pollution incident, and we had quite a few, which would mean that we'd lose control of from a broken hose or a tipped over barrel, the water would then flow into the drains, and we'd end up causing a pollution incident into the River Avon, River Lem in Leamington Spa, or we'd have a sewage treatment problem, which would again cost us money. So what we would do is we would actually inflate the bag inside the drain, which means it's contained, which means then you can collect it, you can recycle it, and you're not also then sending it to landfill or hazardous waste sites.
Aaron Wiggins reporting there. Clever stuff, that is, to talk about hose pipe ban in there. That doesn't seem like it's likely in this Birmingham summer just at the moment.